We're back on Coach's Corner, and the head coach of the Ponca City Wildcat football team, Josh Allen, is with us for Coach's Corner. And, well, Friday night, homecoming with Bartlesville, it certainly didn't turn out the way anyone wanted it to turn out. We have Coach Allen here to talk about anytime you have a tough loss like that. Of course, you're going into it with the attitude and the perspective that you've got a shot to win this game.
Absolutely, no doubt.
And the Wildcats certainly did. It was a tough game. You had a couple of injuries early in the first quarter to a couple of starters. Certainly some high points. Players did not give up throughout that entire game. They played a complete game, and they played with a lot of heart. And you had some folks step up because they had to. Kind of give us an overview, if you will, Coach, about that game with Bartlesville. It was a tough loss, but what can you pull out of it? How did it go?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Disappointing, obviously. We put in time, and when we prepared, 2.5 hour practice Tuesday, Wednesday. We're doing our, as coaches doing all what we do, and we had. We felt like we had a plan and had a plan to win, and we did put pressure on ourselves. Bartlesville had been struggling, and we were building this game up to our guys, and talking playoffs, and so it was just very frustrating and disappointing. We didn't start off the game very well. Had a holding call that puts us deep in our territory. We have to punt from our own end zone. We get the ball back. I think they score right off the bat, and then we get the ball back and we turn the ball. We fumble and so it started off about as bad as it can start off, and then literally a series. In the next series, we start running into injury problems to starters, and we're already, we're week 5 and we already have had injuries already. So now we're down to guys that really haven't played a whole lot, and so. We try to, and guys, listen, there's only so much rep time in practice, and, you don't predict injuries, but you do prepare guys, and especially a first and a second guy.
What do you say? What do you say to one of those players who they haven't had a lot of playing experience, they haven't had a lot of time? You have to walk up to them on the sideline and say, this is it. You're in.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you say to them to get them
listen,
out there?
I had to tell Bryce, first of all, go through, just go through your reach, trust everybody, just because a new guy's out there, you just got to trust him. Okay, you got to go through, just throw who's open. Don't force the ball to somebody. Already, you got to just trust him and throw the reads. And so that's what I told Bryce, our quarterback. And the guys, and then those prepared. Listen, that's why you practice. That's why you prepare, and it's their time. They got to come in there and help the team. And you tell those guys you want to build as much confidence and stuff. You do ask them what you feel. Do you know? We went through the gameplay, making sure you because some might have not got a rep at something, or it might have been a new tag, and we were down to those guys where they were pretty young guys, and what do you know? And so your play calls can be, it hurts your play calling because you can't go full aggressive in what you designed, but at the same time you got to execute. So what do you got
to be impressed with Bryce.
Yes, Bryce handled it well, and listen, we get one of them came back at halftime. The other one unfortunately did not, and but we were it's the second year in a row we've faced injuries. My first 3 years, it's just funny how things go. My first 3 years, we had in football. We went through 3 years in a row of pretty much low injury.
Yeah,
I'm talking 2-3 guys the whole season, and or maybe even less. I'm telling you, it was just strange. And then last year we had a spiral, and then this year is a rash of injuries, and a bunch of hands, and people are and ankles and can cut heads, and all of a sudden, it hurts you in high school football. It's not like you get just this massive amount of depth, and we love every one of our guys, but some guys are ready to play varsity, some aren't, so it stresses us. Obviously, guys are playing both ways, so they're stressed out on offense and defensive scheme. And when you're in 6A, playing a whole bunch of guys both ways, or a handful of guys both ways, you're starting to get a disadvantage. Because most guys at the 6A level lock into one,
and
or locked into one position.
Well, and especially when you're traveling to teams, or teams come to town, perhaps they have some potentially D1 athletes.
Sure.
And then you're forced to put some really inexperienced players up against some of those players, and that's tough.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So hey, but listen, it is what it is. We didn't start. We should have started off better. We were disappointed as coaches. We expected to play better in our guys. We had a plan, and we talked playoffs, stuff like that. Yeah, looking back, listen, we put a lot of pressure. Maybe going forward, we're going to try to alleviate some of that pressure on both coaches and players, and just work on getting better. Again, you're right. Our character of our guys play hard, and at Ponca, I've never felt like a game that we laid down or like that. And so that's a credit to the families and the way people raise kids and like that, and the kids we have, and so appreciate that. But at the same time, we're going to focus on getting better. Maybe cut down some of the playbook. Maybe we vote. And just focus on making sure everybody knows what to do. Play hard and fast, fundamentals, and just try to get as best as we can.
Right.
But hey, listen, we go. We go into Sand Springs, and we still got playoffs on the line, and we're going to sell it to our guys and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Allen with us on Coach's Corner, and Sand Springs up next on the schedule, and then a three-game homestand, the 3 games in a row at Sullivan Stadium, which is going to be fantastic before rounding out the season. But before we talk about Sand Springs and that upcoming matchup, you got to be pleased with Bryce McDougal out there. He's throwing. It's looking good. Excellent hands in your wide receiver core.
Yes.
They're catching the ball,
Yes.
and that's important. And Mitch Wilson's leg. I mean, these are 3 highlights, and I know there are others. Certainly don't want to leave anyone out, but there were some high points, and there were some really good things to pull out of that game with Bartlesville. If you could elaborate a little bit on what you were seeing from the sideline.
Well, I mean, for just again another week. I mean, I think Bryce has been playing excellent as a quarterback as far as handling the pressure, handling the pocket, not panicking, keeping his eyes downfield, and still being extremely accurate sometimes under pressure. He's putting balls that are very catchable to our guys out there on a consistent basis. He protects the football very well. We had one interception. He made a bad decision on a screen, but hey, the guy made a good play too. But other than that, I mean, he just does a great job playing and play out. I think of especially with our passing game, and and that's something that we'll keep. We always have a shot with it. With him playing that way. But anyway, I've just been impressed with his accuracy and the way he handles pressure. Our wideouts continue. I mean, Trevor Howie caught several footballs with the guys on him. And it's just becoming a very reliable wide receiver. Mitch Neeson came in and got more playing time and more reps than he had been, and really played well. Caught several footballs. And then, of course, Daryl Rita, he's always been a staple through the years here. He's a 3-year starter. Made that great touchdown. That first touchdown, he made a great catch in the end zone, and it was a very tough catch. And he continues to do that. We have we're very proud of our quarterback and our wideouts in that situation there. Braden Presnell had a good game. Our fullback blocking on the most part, and then Mitch Wilson on kicking. In high school, extra points aren't for sure in high school, much less field goals.
Right.
We made all our extra points, and we got a couple field goals in there. Wish we got touchdowns.
How nice is that for you as a coach to be able to have that confidence in your kicker?
Absolutely, no. And we were on hashes too, and he's kicking them off hashes. And it tells you can tell Bryce, hey man, down in the red zone. At the end of the day, we don't force anything. We don't turn the ball over down here. I mean, obviously we want you to play great. If he's open, hit him. But if not, throw it away. Or you try a certain play, you're not there, then on third, you don't get we need touchdowns, but you're right, worst case, we need to get points.
Right.
And when you have a field goal like that, it does help.
Yeah.
And it's a great deal. Defense continue. Defense was put in bad situations. Our offense had turned the ball over several. We have to punt from our own end zone. We turned the ball deep inside our own territory early in the game. Throughout the game, had several 3-and-outs. So our defense, just like again for this, really second, third straight week, was put
their work cut out for them.
Put in bad situations.
Right.
So, So it's not really fair to give them that they were just, again, we're not, offense didn't helping them out, field position didn't help them out, and so those areas have got to help our defense out better. But listen, all three areas had mistakes, and all three areas, special teams. I know it was solid, but still we didn't get very much on our returns, and a couple of kickoffs also got down the they got a little farther than we wanted, but overall. So I'm saying is there's mistakes on offense, defense, special teams, and we just got to continue to work on them. But there's some highlights though. Bryce played well. I think Mitch Wilson's leg, and then receivers are catching the ball. And,
right.
But again, and then defense. Again, I'm proud of some guys, especially in the secondary, some new guys that had to come in there. And listen, they were in a tough situation against. You're right, pretty good. Especially some of Barsville's guys were big and tall, and they were in some tough situations, and then our defense was putting some consistently in some tough situations. So, it's not one anybody's fault. We're all It's a team deal. We're all in it together, and so we'll
they'll be out there
to work.
They'll be out there practicing this week.
Absolutely.
Loading the bus up on Friday, headed to
Yep.
Sand Springs. Tell us about that game. What can you expect out of Sand Springs this year?
Well, Sand Springs. I mean, listen, Coach Kennard is. I've been here. It's my 5th year, and he's been here a lot longer than I have. But ever since I've been here, he's always had. I've always been impressed with how well coached his teams are. My first 2 years they were like a spread passing attack. To my last 2 or 3 years, they've been very kind of a physical football team. And the kind of kids there, they're tough kids, not just loaded with, like you said, they're not loaded with Division I talent, but the kids are very. They're built up strong. They're going to be tough. Stingy defense. I mean, last year I thought they had, maybe the best defense, or at least one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in 6A2, and they're kind of a defense where where everybody's going to be at, and you think you can put a scheme together against this whatever they do, but you'll get frustrated because these guys play it so well. And they're going to be physical on offense. They're going to try to run over. They're going to try to off tackle us, and they got enough skill from quarterback and receiver to keep you honest. And then defensively, they're like I said, they're just going to be stingy and physical. Right. So their overall mindset is it's one of the more physical games we play all year. So we're going to have to match it.
Yeah. All right. Sand Springs next on the schedule. Then 3 games in a row at home right here in Solon Stadium, and really hoping for some big crowds at Solon Stadium to cheer on the Cats.
Weather should be good. Coming out in October.
Weather's going to be great. Yeah. October weather, 3 home games in a row after this Sand Springs game, and how excited are your players to get into that home stretch and really kind of settle in? And it's an important part of the season as well, because even with this loss to Bartlesville, as tough as that was, the playoff hopes and the district standings, it's not all lost.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's not. Hey, listen, everybody's high school football. We've all heard stories before. I mean, I was an assistant coach under a head coach who was, at the previous school he was head coach at, had a season where he was 0-5, turned it around, went 5-0 on the back end, and ended up going through making it to the state final game. And
wow.
I'm just saying there are stories out there now. I'm not predicting or saying that but at the same time, things can happen.
Yeah.
And then plus just the last 2 years, we've, like I was telling you earlier, we've won 2 of our last 3 games. We've won 2 of our last 3 games the last 2 years in a row. Again, credit to the guys not throwing the hat in.
Right.
Because it can be hard, it can be difficult and emotional at times. So, we still got a lot of football to be played, and that home stretch will be very, very nice.
All right. Well, this has been Coach's Corner. Coach Josh Allen with the Ponca City Wildcat football team, and I know the players are going to be working out hard this week. What's that practice schedule like this week?
Monday's always now. Last Monday, again, we almost went. Last Monday, we put on the pads and practice. We did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The usual routine is Monday is a light day. It's a scouting report day, introduction day for the varsity, with your JV guys getting ready to go play a JV game. They'll participate in a few things, but then we'll get them fed and get on a bus and go to a JV game. Varsity gets a kind of it's not a physical day. It's an introduction to scouting report, watching film and a weight room workout, is what the varsity entails. So we will start introducing here's what they run, here's what they do, here's how we're going to attack it. Let's go watch some film.
Yeah.
And then let's get in the weight room. And it's a non-physical day besides lifting weight. We're not hitting there or anything like that. But
right.
Because you're in week whatever, and you had all you've been doing this for 2 months now. So the guys, and then Tuesday, Wednesday will be our work days. That'll be your 2-hour plus practices
right.
with and pads. Now it's funny. We're from old school, new school. I mean, we just thought we can't afford to lose anybody in practice.
Right.
You control that, and so we work on fundamentals and talent. But most of our team stuff is what we call high thud, where we're staying off the joints low and still still hitting. And it's live in the trenches and stuff. But we try to on the runners quick whistle them. Just try to keep
right.
everybody. The scout team guys still get hit sometimes a little
right.
harder than they probably want to. But
right.
But we passing game, running game. You rep that out for the defense, for the offense. And so you have big practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hay in the barn day. You just do a quick walkthrough and give everybody a nice little speech, and then get the jersey to them for tomorrow, for the Friday, and let them have a Thursday night. A lot of guys on Thursday night have little groups, and like the DBs will go to dinner, and the O-line will have a
right.
or a little food session. Then they go somewhere. And I'm saying those are part of it.
Yeah.
In the past we've even had movie nights as a team up
wow.
at the deal. So Thursday nights is let's relax a little bit. Let's get we want to just want you to think about the game and your job, but at the same time. Hayes in the barn. We prepared you.
Right.
Let's enjoy some team activity.
How important are those team activities?
Well,
because that's something that not only in the high school ranks, but that's big in the college ranks
sure.
as well. To go out as a team and do things, whether it's dinner or a movie. How important are those elements of team building?
They're absolutely important because football. I tell those guys at the end of the year, you're gonna. There's so much more than just the wins and losses. Now, the wins and losses, that's what we're shooting for. We have goals, and that's
right.
part of what merit we're teaching you, the merit, team and win and things like that. And those are great values, and we're all about that. But at the same time, when you get back, you have memories in the locker room with your buddies, and some of these Thursday night little memories. You'll take those with you, and team chemistry and it's a time to as coaches, players, you can relax and put your arm around a guy that you've been coaching hard throughout the week, and so you keep that relationship there, and so you'll be on him Friday night, I'm sure, and then Monday, Tuesday. It's the way it is. But then at that time, you just tell them, hey man, you joke around with them or something, and let them, a more human side of the coach, on that deal.
Right.
So, which is important, for the guys. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I've enjoyed it, Coach Allen. Thank you. Looking forward to Sand Springs. Looking forward to that three game in a row home stretch.
Same with us as well.
It's going to be nice. Coach Allen on Coach's Corner. Thank you for watching Coach's Corner every week right here. Until next time, thank you for watching.